Republic accesses NIA's charge sheet in the Harsha murder case, which reveals the plot to terrorize Hindus. Exclusive details coming up next. Coimbatore blast case unravels. Now ISIS link comes out in the open. The question is, was there a larger conspiracy behind? Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai puts DMK in a spot, alleges cover-up by Stalin government.
एक तरफ गांधी जी की तस्वीर है, वो वैसे ही रहनी चाहिए, लेकिन दूसरी तरफ श्री गणेश जी की और श्री लक्ष्मी जी की तस्वीर भारतीय करेंसी के ऊपर लगाई जाए।
Race to Gujarat polls intensifies. Kejriwal rings in Gods on Notes card now.
केजरीवाल जी के पॉलिटिक्स को देखा जाए तो किस प्रकार से यू टर्न किया जाता है, आज ये हमारे सामने पूर्णतः उतर के आ रहा है।
From Kejriwal's Hindu eyewash jibe to fake Bhakt attack, BJP tears into Aam Aadmi Party over the Hindu card. From satsangs to political visits, national outrage over parole for rapist Ram Rahi. Hello and welcome. You're watching This Is Exclusive with me, Shavin Sen. For hours put together, you were told that the blast that took place in Coimbatore was just a mere cylinder blast. There was no terror link. Had it not been for the Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai, people wouldn't have really dug further to find out that there is a terror link. There's a larger concern. Finally, sections of the stringent anti-terror law UAPA have been invoked in the Coimbatore car blast. After 75 kilograms of explosive raw materials were seized from the residence of the accused, including of the 25-year-old Jamiza Bubin, who died in the blast during search operations in the last 2 days. Now, in a massive development, an ISIS link has also come to the fore, where the accused Feroz Ismail is said to be an alleged ISIS sympathizer. On this edition of This Is Exclusive, we'll get you full details of what's the ISIS link like and how is it linked to the Sri Lankan Easter bombing. There are multiple links that are now emerging. Only on This Is Exclusive, we'll get you full details of how the investigation has been carried out so far. Take a look at this report and then we go across to our reporters on the ground to get you the latest and giving you more details on the ISIS link.
As the probe into the Coimbatore blast widens, the findings suggest a possible ISIS link and connections with the perpetrators of the Colombo blasts. As the alleged terror link surfaced, a team of NIA reached the city and is taking stock of the situation. Initially, the explosion just before Diwali had been claimed as a cylinder blast in the car. Now, shocking details are emerging of how the links of the Coimbatore accused were stretched all the way to Colombo. 5 men have now been arrested and booked under the UAPA Act. Republic also tracked residents of accused Mubin who had died in the blast.
This is the place where he has been living and there are evidences of him living. The police have now locked and sealed the houses. Nobody can enter, and as you can see, there is so many toxic powders that is seen on the floor of the house, and there are so many things. We have been known that explosives such as aluminium nitrate and sulfur and ammonium were taken from this house, and these could have been the evidences that the police gathered from this house.
BJP is calling it a terror attack because the key accused Mubin was quizzed by the NIA in 2019 over the alleged links with the ISIS. He was following a terror group's National Tawahujja Jamaat's ideologue Zahran Hashim on social media and was in touch with him and his aides.
For 48 hours, the state government was trying to picture this as a cylinder blast. The DGP of the state was forced to say this is a cylinder blast. in the official press note of the Tamil Nadu state government, they were forced to call this a cylinder blast. It was very unfortunate. BJP Tamil Nadu did not have any other way to go than to go after the Tamil Nadu state government with evidence, with facts, to call why it is a suicide bombing, including the WhatsApp status message of the accused, and why the Tamil Nadu government and especially the CM and the police officers are trying to make it sound like some local cylinder blast. Very unfortunate, sir, because Tamil Nadu, the internal law and order situation is getting very bad day in and day out. All kinds of anti-nationals are given a free hand to operate in our state. That is very worrying for us. I hope in the NIA investigation, they can go to the root of the matter and arrest all the people who are involved in this operation.
Hashim was one of the terrorists behind the serial bomb blasts in Colombo in 2019, in which as many as 300 people were killed. The cops also recovered low-intensive explosive materials from Mubin's house. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Getting in some more breaking news right now. We told you about the ISIS link that Mubin has. In fact, Mubin, whose body has been recovered, charred beyond recognition. The Tamil Nadu crime branch then carried out searches at his residence. Documents have now been seized from Mubin's residence, where a letter has been recovered which mentions several landmark locations in Coimbatore. This was mentioned under the head, the tourist places to be visited. These locations include Victoria Hall, Racecourse, Railway Station. We're also getting to learn that explosives carried in the gunny bag was similar to the materials that were used by Zaran Hashim in the Easter bomb attacks in Sri Lanka. Mubin had in fact tried to execute an explosion a few years ago in Tamil Nadu, but this was foiled by the police. Just a quick recap of what we do so far, and then we go across to our reporters on the ground. Big details emerging from the recoveries that have been made from Mubin's residence. There's a letter that has been recovered which was mentioned under the head of the tourist places to be visited, unquote. These local locations include Victoria Hall, Racecourse, Railway Station. And in fact, it turns out that the materials that have been recovered from the gunny bag was similar to the one that was used by Zaran Hashim in the Easter bomb attacks in Sri Lanka. Let me go across to our reporters on the ground to get you more details. Tarisha is joining us from the Delhi newsroom, and Varshali is joining us from Coimbatore. In fact, Tarisha, I'll come to you first with regards to the latest development of the investigation that's been carried out. We're given to understand a document was recovered from Mubin's residence, and that letter makes a mention of the locations. However, it was in the garb of some tourist places to be visited. Take us through the details that you're picking up.
Right, Shravan, it is very interesting to note how scathing observations are slowly coming to the fore after the investigation has gathered pace. Now, the investigation has been transferred to the NIA, and 3 scathing observations have come to the fore. Number 1 is that documents were seized from Mubin's residence. Remember, Mubin is the person who died in the car blast, who is also the accused of the Coimbatore blast, and in that document, it had the mentioning of several places in Coimbatore, and the header that was given to it was a tourist place to be visited. So clearly it was a hidden agenda for whenever people or the NIA or the cops find the document, they should not know about what the clear agenda was, and hence it was named tourist place to be visited. Now, this clearly shows that it was not just in Coimbatore that the attack was planned, but also in several other places. Now, what are these places? These places were Victoria Hall and Racecourse Railway Station. These 2 were the major places that were mentioned in the document that has now been seized. Now, after that, we are also getting to learn that the link to Easter bombings that happened in Sri Lanka, in Colombo, is also coming to the fore. Remember, we are also getting to learn that the kind of explosive material that was recovered from the gunny bag that was used in the Coimbatore blast had a quite similar nature to that of the Sri Lankan blast that was carried out way years back. Now, remember, now links have also come out in the open where it is said that Mubin was allegedly linked to mastermind of the Colombo blast, and hence now it is very clear why the explosives that were recovered in the gunny bag is similar nature to that used in the Sri Lankan blast. Now, this is not the first time that Mubin has tried and planned an attack in the Coimbatore. Remember, we are also getting to learn from sources that Mubin had tried to execute an explosion few years ago, and similar kind of explosion, but this was foiled by the Tamil Nadu police. So here we have three major observations that's coming to the fore. Number one is the documents that point out that clearly there were many tourist locations that were under the scanner, under the bomb blast scanner, that they wanted to explode. Number two is how the explosive material that was recovered from the gunny bag is similar to that of the explosive materials that were recovered in the Sri Lankan blast. And number three is that it is not the first attempt. In the past as well, attempts were made to explode the city, to cause explosions in many parts of the city. Shravan.
Well, thank you very much, Tanisha, for getting us the latest details. We're also getting in another set of breaking news coming in as far as the investigation that's been carried out so far. I'll also bring in Harshini right now. Let's put out the second big breaking news coming in with the investigation now gaining momentum. We're now being told that a possible ISIS link and connections with the perpetrators of the Colombo blast has basically emerged. Arrested Feroz Ismail, alleged ISIS sympathizer. Feroz Ismail was deported from UAE in 2020. Feroz was caught in a CCTV moving explosives into Mubin's car. Mubin was basically searching how to make bombs on internet. That's the latest details we are now getting in from sources in the central agencies, giving us more details of what has transpired so far with regards to the investigation that's been carried out by the Tamil Nadu police. Harshad, if I can come to you with regards to the investigation that's been carried out so far. With regards to Feroz Ismail, 27-year-old Feroz Ismail was deported from the UAE in 2020. He's seen in that particular CCTV footage. But the big question that's emerging, Mubin as well as Feroz Ismail, both of them have been examined by the National Investigation Agency. Take us through the details that you're picking up.
So if you see, Shravan, the situation here about these 5 accused who have been arrested, particularly we are speaking about Feroz Ismail, who's been arrested, and as we mentioned, he has been deported from UAE as well. He has been the person who has been having a severe, ISIS links, and we also hear that this has been going on for some time because he was the first one to be interrogated by the NIA previously also, because a few months ago there was a NIA raid that happened in Coimbatore district, and that is to be noted because the NIA officials did come down here to this particular Ukkadam area and to this particular locality when they came down for raids. And even at that point of time there was a situation where Feroz Ismail was also taken for investigation, but there was not any allegations or FIR against him, and that is why the reason they were able to roam around free in the city, and that is why this huge of a conspiracy was even able to be planned in the first place by them. But Feroz Ismail could have been one of the major played one of the major roles in this whole conspiracy, and this whole attack could have been basically planned by Feroz Ismail, and then the others could have even joined with him, is the kind of view that is prevailing here. But you see, every very important things is that even be it Jamesha Mubin or even be it Dalka, these people and their families, their fathers were also a part of several outfits that have been banned right now. Therefore, there has been a longer attachment to these outfits for these people who've been involved in this particular attack. It's not just they have been radicalized recently, they have been constantly being attached to these kind of outfits, banned outfits in the country, and that could have also been a reason that they have been easily able to access or get in touch with the outfits such as ISIS,
right,
and have linkage to that, so that they properly got funds from them, and they were able to plan something as massive as this.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Tanisha, as well as Vachari, for getting us the latest details. Republic TV has told you about the ISIS link that has emerged. There's much more than what meets the eye. We'll be closely tracking this story.